Thanks to those joining me live and to those that'll be joining me and Ashy Knuckles on Archive. This is a Puncher's Chance with Ashy Knuckles every Tuesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 9 Central, 8 Mountain, and 7 Pacific. All right, we got a good show lined up for you today and all that good stuff. How you doing, Ashy?
Man, I'm doing all right, man. Just been really busy, ripping and running, but other than that, I'm good, man.
Absolutely. I want to first just play a quick tribute here to Danny Gonzalez, 22 years of age, unfortunately passed away. He was murdered at a picnic during this holidays weekend. Let's give him a quick tribute. We'll be right back after this. Rest in peace, Danny Gonzalez. This is all we kind of know about the story right now. Actually, he was shot repeated times after being confronted by somebody at a family picnic. He was visiting family, um, and unfortunately, he passed away. The medics showed up. They couldn't save him, and he's gone. He had just been signed with Mayweather Promotions, and he had a future ahead of him. Who knows what he could have became in the boxing world, but unfortunately, he passed. What are your thoughts on this, man?
Once again, that's really unfortunate. Another kid, um, unfortunately, taken from us, not just us in the boxing community, but his family. Like you said, man, he had a bright future, undefeated. I did some research on him. He was a really good amateur, 9-time national champion. He went like 96-13, which is not too shabby for an amateur. You know what I'm saying? And he ended up signing with one of the best amateurs, one of the best fighters ever come through the game. So it was a good chance that he would have got a really good push, and he could have probably been a star, and if not a star, at least a world champion. I mean, that's at least what all fighters going to boxing to become anyway. And it's really a tragedy. It's really a shame that he'll never be able to realize that dream. You know what I'm saying? Because of the ignorance of somebody who wanted to cut his life short. I don't know what was going on in that kid's life. I don't know if he was quote unquote a good kid or a kid that made uh, difficult choices coming up. Who knows? All I know is that a picnic is not a war zone. You know what I'm saying? And when you're amongst family and friends, man, it's just a real awful situation, man, to be caught up in. And hopefully, the investigators get all the leads they need to bring these murderers to justice, man. My condolences to the family, though.
Yeah, it's still under investigation, so we don't know like what led to this. But man, I know a 22-year-old kid doesn't deserve to get shot like that at a family picnic.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that's not what I think about when I'm thinking about a young kid that has dreams ahead of him and wants to pursue a future in boxing. It's one of the saddest you know you know news pieces of news I've gotten regarding boxing. It's
Yeah.
kind of it might have been a bigger story. Actually, we'd have everything else going on, like with the politics and the election and the corona, and there's a lot of stuff going on, uh, shootings and stuff. It's like calming now. Like you know what I mean? Like we're hearing about it all the time. But you're right, man. I don't know what led to this. I don't know if it was a family dispute. I don't know if it was a beef he had. I don't know if it was money he owed. I don't know if it was just some crazy person that for no reason did it. We don't know. You know what I mean? But yeah. I don't even know what to say. I mean, this is sad.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It really is sad, man. I mean, I don't want to see any kid, not, let alone one of our young prospects get taken out. I mean, 22 years old, you haven't even lived yet. You know what I'm saying? You haven't even lived yet. You're just touching manhood, you know?
Yeah.
And, it's really a shame, man. It's just really a shame. And hopefully we can find an end to, all this violence that's going on in the country, you know what I'm saying? And shit around the world, man. But, hearing news like this only makes people or makes me think, it's not going to get better. It's just going to continue getting worse, God
Yeah.
forbid, but it is what it is, man.
Yeah. Rest in peace to the kid, man. I feel very bad for the family, and because not only did this happen, I didn't like look that deep into it. I don't know if the mom was there. Could you just imagine? I mean, that's just
Man, no.
that's crazy. So yeah,
Having to bury your own child.
yeah,
Wow. Your children are supposed to outlive you. You know what I'm saying? They're supposed to bury you.
yeah,
So just the tragedy, man, of a parent having to cope with the fact that they outlive their own child, man. Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, especially a child that, I mean, this actually anyone who's a good amateur in boxing is a hard worker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they take their craft serious.
Yeah. You don't get paid for that shit,
Yeah. So this is a kid that was working hard up to this point, and someone just with
Cut all that short.
with that, with a little finger.
That
You know what I mean?
decision. Yeah. Right.
A shout out to Stormy B, man, CMB 100, Bruce Goes, Tone Brown, Jay Lee, Afro Rican, G Funky, all you guys, man, and B&B Boxing. Make sure you guys throw a jab in my like button. Obviously, we started with a down. I mean, it's a sad story. There's no other way around it. We need to stop this violence, man. I know a lot of people like to talk like they're part of this type of, like, I live that thug life. And there's nothing glamorous or good about it, And I'm not saying that was the case here. Again, this could have been some wacko that just showed up with a gun. Who knows? But I have a feeling it was there was like he more likely knew this person. That's usually how it goes. So I don't know, but man, I really hope that I just hope the best for the family. I mean, there's nothing I could say to them to make them feel better, but I can tell them that that I'm sorry for your loss, and at least we can give tribute to your son for what he did. You know what I mean? What's going on, Zane? Some weekend aftermath here. I want to ask you, actually, I have not asked you. I have no idea what your take on this is. I'm going to straight up ask the question because it's all over social media. Did Jamal Herring quit?
The boxing fan in me, I have to say, yeah. The boxing fan in me says, yes, he quit, and it just so happens that the rules favored him in this particular fight. You've seen guys get headbutted and get cut, and later down the line they can't continue. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's been a long time since I've seen the champion being that guy. You know what I'm saying? You're defending your title. You know what I'm saying? And you get hit with a headbutt and, you can't continue. And then the other guy gets DQ'd. You know what I'm saying? Or wins via disqualification because it was ruled intentional. And you can see them over in the corner, man.
Right.
Trying to negotiate. You know what I'm saying? He can't see, but if it's going to mean, that he loses title and Tony Weeks trying to be the ultimate professional, like, look, I can't tell you what the verdict is going to be. Can he fight or not? You know what I'm saying? So, Bomac was doing what a trainer, the manager was doing. He's trying to, look out for his fighter. But Jamel, he didn't want no more work. He didn't want to be in that ring no more. You know what I'm saying? To me, what I saw was help help. You know, I saw calls for help. You know what I'm saying? In a fight that he's winning. A fight that he's winning. You know what I'm saying? But it was a rugged fight. It wasn't the typical boxing match where he can box and move. The guy was, roughing him up, and it got to him. But the show must go on, no matter what's going on with you in the ring. You keep fighting. You know what I'm saying? And at the time that he quit, I didn't see blood just leaking profusely in his eyes, bro. At the time, I didn't see that. But he said he couldn't see, so.
I've been hearing a lot of armchair doctors online actually talking about how, you don't understand, these injuries could be really, really bad, and he could have been seeing double vision. All things I did not hear. I don't think Herring said anything of this, about this. You know what I mean? I saw his tweets. He first of all, look at his demeanor in that picture. But he wasn't happy. He wasn't happy with the public's, perception of it. He wasn't happy with the fans' reaction of it on social media anyway. So I don't know if it was him or how it got out that his wife was saying after Frampton, I'm done with this. I want you to quit boxing. I mean, there's a lot of his tweets. I mean, he wasn't happy, bro. Like he's talking about how after Frampton, I'm done. And I think he was in a place in that Oquendo fight that he felt like, if I don't have to be here, why am I here? Right.
Right.
Like, I think if they would have told him, well, it's a TKO for Oquendo if you do say you don't want no more, right?
Yeah.
And then I believe he would have finished the fight. Who knows? But
dude, Tony Weeks said, "Look, I can't tell you if he's going to win or not because Bomac was worried about him losing his title."
Right.
You hear he told him, "You're going to lose your title." That dude said, "I can't see." So I think even if they said, "Hey man, you're risking a TKO loss," I think he would have still head for the hills, man. I hate to say it about the fighter, you know what I'm saying? But that's the impression that he gave off. Because it wasn't his corner that wanted, the fight to be called off. It was him. I can't see. I can't see. I can't see. That to me is, where is the exit? Please point for that direction for me. Yeah.
Right. Storm says the only double Herring saw was a double effort that Oquendo was putting on his ass.
Yeah.
Man, Jaylee says it sucks to lose that way, but I agree with Ashley Knuckles. Unless the ref stops at the rules on intent, you gotta fight through it. Ron PMC says, reminded me of Mikey Garcia versus Salido ending. I don't know if he meant Miley, but Mikey Garcia Salido ending. It also reminded me of Nate Campbell and
Timothy Bradley, right?
Bradley, yeah.
Yeah, that was the
Nate
first.
Campbell said he saw spots, and he was like that scared him. He was seeing spots, and all this other stuff. And then, to a certain degree, Alexander too against Bradley.
Oh yeah. Man,
Alexander's a little over the top. Like that dude held the wrong side of his face after the headbutt. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was too rough in there for him, man.
Yeah.
Tim was on his ass. You talking about Devin?
Yeah, Devin. Yeah.
Tim was on his ass, man, and he didn't expect that type of outing, and his stock went down after that fight. You know what I'm saying? It really did.
I think it got too hot in the kitchen. I think and he said, "I don't want to be in here anymore." Like,
yeah, man. I mean, at the end of the day, these guys are getting in the ring. Like for Oquendo and Herring, Oquendo is coming in the ring at a big disadvantage in height and reach. And he's fighting a champion, and he's not going to outbox him. So the game plan from round one was to make it a damn dog fight, and that's exactly what the hell he did.
Yeah.
And ultimately Herring was, over time. I mean, he was doing well. It was certain things that he really didn't have to do. He didn't have to stand in there with him. He could have kept pivoting every time the dude kept coming in. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to oblige him. He obliged the inside work by Oquendo. He would they would hold each other. It wasn't just Oquendo holding on to him. It was Herring trying to force the clinch so the referee can come and separate them again so he can get back to that stick in that 1-2. and that uppercut. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But at the end of the day, he didn't have the answers to keep that guy off of him. And maybe he was wearing down. If the fight would have went on, who knows? He probably would have got tired, and Oquendo could have been champion of the world. You just don't know. That's why these fights play out the way they play out. You got to see to it till the end. So he looked for an escape route. He was looking for the fire escape. He found the fire escape. And he got the fuck out of there, man. That's just what it is. I hate to say it, but that's what it looked like.
You're right. And we can't be in his body, obviously, but it almost seems, bro, I don't want to read too much into his tweets, but it's almost like he regrets his decision.
Right.
Because
it's not indicative of a fighter, man. And the fans, the fans got no chill. They're going to come with memes, with the tweets. They're going to make you know that you had a bad decision. God forbid you get knocked out. You got to get knocked out. So, and he's feeling down on himself, but he'll snap out of it, man. When he cash that check, I bet he does.
Yeah, he'll be all right after that check, for sure. Especially when they offer what he's going to make for the Frampton fight. You know what I mean? But man, look. First of all, I had a problem with the DQ. If you don't DQ the guy after it happens, you allow the fight to continue. The other fighter can all of a sudden decide, you know what? Nah, I can't continue. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So why is it a DQ?
I'm still trying to figure that one out. Like I said, you seldomly see the champion bowing out of the fight, not being able to continue and then not go to the cards or something like that.
Right.
It was just a very weird outing. You know what I'm saying? I think because it wasn't ruled accidental, that's why it didn't go to the cards, or they count the rounds after after 4 rounds or whatever the rules are on headbutts. I don't know them right off the top of my head because
they make them up as they go. Apparently,
apparently because this was new for me. I can't think of another fight where the victory was awarded, basically gifted, in this predicament.
Well, actually, first of all, the fact that they came out and said, "No, we DQ'd him because it was repeated headbutts."
Yeah,
but the ref only told him something about it once, if I remember correctly, right?
Right, and
I didn't tell him several times.
I didn't see it either, and I didn't see like a bunch of damn headbutts either. Now he did come in low, because that was a part of his attack, coming in low. And first of all, you come in low and his chin tucked. So naturally, it looks like he's coming in with his fucking head. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, he was making it a rough fight. And I don't think Jamel wanted to see it through to the 12th round, man. It just looked like a way out, an escape route. I didn't see it being calls for a DQ. Because at the time that he quit fighting and said he couldn't see, there were no headbutts that made him say, I can't see now because of the headbutts. It's all of a sudden I can't see. He continued fighting and all of a sudden he can't see, and the cut wasn't just leaking in his eye at the time of them stopping. So it probably should have been a TKO loss for Herring. He probably should have lost his title that night.
Right.
And the fight that he really wasn't doing that bad in,
Well, I mean, look, actually, Tyson wasn't doing that bad against Holyfield in the second fight, but he was just getting tired of Holyfield's big head and bit half his ear off, bro.
It's so frustrating, I'm sure.
So I think here's what it is, right? I think there's different types of frustrations, different types of things that bother fighters, right? I think he was just frustrated,
Yeah.
And the frustration made him not want to be there. I don't think it was fear. You know what I mean?
No.
It's not necessarily I'm scared of being here. It wasn't really that, It's just he was extremely something about those head clashes and accidental or not headbutts that different fighters react differently to it.
Yeah.
And in Herring's part, I mean, I seen a guy in fights. You know what I mean? I seen him dig deep and go 12 rounds before.
Right.
I mean, I always said, man, you got to come in shape when you fight Herring. That dude, you can't have an off night against Herring.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm not going to change my stance on that. Can he? Because it looks like a lot of people don't think he's going to recover from this. Look, a lot of people didn't think Vitaly Klitschko could recover after quitting in the 11th round.
Yeah, that's a
In a
very
fight he was dominating, right?
yeah.
You know, it's he quit for that, but he didn't quit in the Lennox Lewis fight. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like he was throwing a fit after they stopped that fight.
Yeah,
But so
with
it's
the
the
cut.
hands, I guess.
Yeah, with the cut. A
Mike
nasty.
Garcia, a lot of people question that shit. A lot of people are like, I don't know, Mikey. I think Salino was getting to you, you know, and he kind of didn't want to, you know, continue. You know what I mean? Alexander still kind of it wasn't really the same anymore, but he still had a career after the
Right. Yes, decent wins afterwards. Yep.
Can Herring, you know, recover from this? Does this influence how you see the Frampton fight in any way?
Not really. I mean, I don't expect Frampton to fight with the same game plan. Although he could, you know, he could try it. Right. But at the, you know, it doesn't affect my opinion of him. I think, you know, this was some adversity that he wasn't prepared to endure. You know, you could say whatever, you know, take a punch to the face, take a punch to the body, whatever. But a fucking headbutt do not feel like a punch. That is a fucking bone. That is a bone hitting you in your face and giving you a big laceration. That's a lot to overcome when you're getting headbutted in the ring. That shit hurt bad. And some people, you know, it affects people in different ways, man. And the real throwback fighters knew how to cheat and get away with it. They knew how to disguise the fouls. So the ref didn't see it. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that was their method to get the opponent to fight out of character, make a mistake. Boom, we got a new champion of the world. You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't that the case this time around. You know, Okendo got caught. You know, it wasn't ruled accidental. It was ruled intentional. And so it was against him. The fight was against him moving on from that point. But, you know, it's a learning lesson for Okendo, man. I don't know. Not Okendo, but Harry. I don't know if he's ever had to deal with a cut like that before in his career. You know, I can't remember off the top of my head. But moving forward, he can chalk it up to experience in case it happens again. He's talking about after the Frampton fight he's done with Bob. Man, miss me with that shit. Well, you know, you never know, man. You never know.
Texan still thinks he could beat Frampton, but Burchell will be an issue in some areas. Chief Funky was not impressed with Herring. Naituku says he quit, but he had to. You know, I mean, some people see it that way. And look, and I want to address this because anytime you talk about quitting, there seems to be like this new generation fan that just has an issue with that, right? Like, well, I don't see you in the ring and all this other stuff. But like, hey, look, no one's forcing these guys to go in the ring. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I hope everybody understands that. They don't have to do this for a living. It's not like for the normal people. Normal people don't like box for a living. You know what I mean? They don't go in there and go to war with another human being. It's a gladiatorial sport. Like the whole point of the sport is to beat a man down and keep him down for 10 seconds. You know what I mean? That's how this thing was founded. It's just that government laws forced us to kind of, you know, take it down a notch.
Yeah, make it less barbaric, right?
Yeah, make it less barbaric. You know what? We're going to cut you off at 15 rounds. Never mind, 12. You know what I mean? It's only a matter of time before we go down to 10. You know, but we are where we are. Like, it's you guys chose this. Look, if someone who's not a boxing fan, you know, comes to us and says, man, you guys are barbaric. What the hell? Like, the dude, his eye, he was growing the third eye, then I get it. But if you're a boxing fan,
yeah.
Like, do you not understand what you're watching? You know?
Injuries are part of the sport, man. Fight must go on.
Bro. I remember when Arturo Gatti was telling
Buddy McGirt.
Buddy McGirt, he was telling him about his hand. And Buddy's like, well, what do you want me to do? Oh, I'm just telling you, well, you want to keep fighting? Yeah, okay. So anyway, this is what you're gonna do. Like,
yeah. So, actually, I don't want to bring this guy's name up, but Paulie Malignaggi, early in his career, I forget, it's like one of them ESPN fights or something like that. He hurt his hand real fucking bad, and he told this when he had Cameron's uncle as a trainer early in his career, And he told him, "Look, I think I broke my hand." He was like, "You don't worry about it. All you got to do is throw that motherfucker." He was telling him, "Throw that bitch anyway." You know what I'm saying? I'm not stopping the fight. You know, the fight goes on. You know,
Absolutely. Hey, guys, check it out. Right down here, D-Style Boxing on Twitter, and then Instagram, D-Style_boxing, and of course, a puncher's chance. That's Ashy's Twitter handle. You guys can follow him on Twitter as well. And go to mandatorydefense.com. All right, visit the website. It's all down there. Just check out the new look. You know what I mean? We're revamping this whole thing and all that good stuff. I imagine no neutral corner rules, says Bruce Goes. We don't have to imagine it. We've seen it before. Just go watch Jack Dempsey against Willard, right? People don't even realize. They're like, why is he allowed to do that? No, those were the rules, bro. You could like hover over your opponent and, you know, as soon as their glove came out the canvas, they, bah! You know, like no mercy back then at all. You know, so, hey, just saying. And, of course, actually, there was another fight. Ugas defeated Ramos relatively easy, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't think he was on cruise control halfway through the fight. Ramos, you know, I think it was the third or fourth round. He hurt Ugas. You know, he caught his attention there. Ugas even smiled at him. But other than one or two moments, I thought Ugas handled him 9 rounds to 3 easy.
Right.
But apparently another judge gave 9 rounds to Ramos.
Wow.
So, first of all, what you think of Ugas' performance winning the regular WBA championship and this judge 9 rounds for Ramos?
Yeah. First of all, congratulations to Ugas for securing a strap. Considering the fact he's been on the cusp of a world title shot for I don't know how long and been basically overlooked. So this was an opportunity for him to pick up a strap. You know, becoming the first Cuban since Jose Montequilla, Napoleon, won a world title, the first welterweight, Cuban welterweight. So congrats on that. And yeah, man, this was a good outing for him, man. He went in there and shut down everything Abel Ramos tried. Didn't stop Ramos from fighting hard. He wanted to win, you know what I'm saying? But everything he tried was getting shut down. And the biggest thing about Ugas, man, more so than knowing that you got to come to fight when you fight him, because he's bringing the fight right to you, is the fact that he counters to the body so fucking well. And he counters to the body in twos. You know, he got to be one of the best body punchers in terms of countering to the body outside of Shakur Stevenson. You got a lot to deal with fighting guys like that. You know what I'm saying? Who look to counter you to the body. You know? Because body shots, they take a lot out of you, man. They take a lot. You always hear guys say, oh, man, he has a good chin. I've never heard anybody say, oh, he has a good body. Body shots affect everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and he does a great job of, 1s and 2s and 3s. And, you know, you're right, man. He basically shut down Abel Sanchez.
No, not Abel Sanchez.
Abel Ramos the whole fight. Abel Ramos kept trying, though. He landed some good shots. A few hurt Ugas. So he is a player in the welterweight division. It's just on this night, it wasn't for him to get the W. You know, Ugas has paid his dues, and now he's looking to cash in for more lucrative options, man. And the judge that scored 9 rounds for Abel Ramos, I have no idea what he was looking at. You know what I'm saying? He was getting shut down. You know, now he did rock Ugas, and he was visibly hurt. Maybe once or twice. You know what I'm saying? Maybe once or twice. But the fact of the matter is, what happened for the duration of those rounds? You know what I'm saying? It was Ugas being the aggressor, Ugas being having more effective aggression, Ugas dictating. You know what I'm saying? It was a barn burner. You know what I'm saying? Because Ugas was bringing the fight to the challenger. You know, to Ramos. And ultimately, he did a whole lot more to win those rounds. So I don't know what the hell he was looking at. And you know who Ugas reminds me of, man?
Yeah.
Ugas his fight style reminds me, he's like a smaller version of Charles Brewer. Remember Charles Brewer used to fight at super middleweight. He was from Philly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
vaguely remember. Yeah.
that's who he reminds me of. You know what I'm saying? Tough, strong. Uh, he threw a lot of punches, had decent power or whatever like that, but could never ever cross that hump into the next level. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Ugas will prove me wrong and get to that next level. But so far that's what he reminds me of, like a smaller version of Charles Brewer. For anybody out there who used to watch, who remembers him on Tuesday night fights, or maybe it was Thursday night fights at that time, whatever it may have been.
Here's what I want to ask you. Like, sometimes, dude, like I could see like in a close fight, and maybe even me, you could look at it differently, and you could give one. You could say the other guy won 7 rounds. I could feel the opposite, and there's an argument, but I don't see how anyone could possibly give Ramos 9 rounds in this. Like, I just don't. The first time I heard that, I said, I think that judge like scored it wrong. Like he thought he was giving rounds to Ugas, but it was to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He like did it reverse, or like it was a mistake, right? But no, like it was totally, you see it, and it's like that. There's no word that he's like, oh no, I meant to give those to Ugas or nothing. It's what the hell, dude? Shit like this pisses me off, bro.
Yeah.
Like, is this corruption or incompetence, dude? Because it can't be both.
I was just about to say maybe it's both. It's definitely incompetence, man. We see this time and time again. Good thing this wasn't a high-profile fight, and another good thing is the rightful winner won the fight. It must have been something Ramos was doing in there to catch that judge's eye to make him think that he was doing enough to secure those rounds, because Ramos was in the fight. You know what I'm saying? He was in there working. He was trying. He never stopped trying. You know what I'm saying? He was just getting shut down. He was just getting shut down. There was an answer for everything that he threw. But he never stopped trying. So if he was just scoring it for effort, then I don't know. I have no idea what he was looking at in terms of why he would score all those rounds for Ramos. Maybe he's kin to the family or something like that.
I mean, look,
it was easy to score.
I talked to some people, and I even disagree with them, but they're telling me, like, I don't know, I give Ramos 4 or 5 rounds. Like, and I'm like, I give him maybe 3, but I could see that. I could see someone giving Ramos. I still think it's a stretch. If you want to give Ramos 5 rounds, you could argue for that, I guess.
Yeah.
But 9? I mean, holy shit, dude. 9 rounds?
It's a bit much. So,
I mean, that is, to me, honestly, that something's going on. It's just, I think this judge has to be investigated. That is what I think. It's that bad. Did
they say anything about launching an investigation or anything like that, or no?
I haven't read anything. If someone has some news about that, let me know. Chief Funkin says, kind of like the judge that gave Tater the 7th round against Postal when he had Tater clearly hurt. Yeah, we covered that fight in the weekend. Tone Brown, Ramos was in the fight, but Ugas, in my opinion, was clear-cut winner. No way it should have been 117, 111. I mean, I'm just saying, dude, if now, with that said, is this should this be an indicator, actually, to all fighters that just keep working? You never know how the judges are going to see it.
Man,
right?
If you don't know that by now, man, you must be watching figure skating or something like that, man. You never know what the damn judges are looking at. So you get in that square circle and you want to be judged fairly, put the guy on his fucking ass if you can. You know, don't take rounds off, because you never know what the judges are looking at or looking for.
Dude, this judge is checking out the ring girls, bro. He ain't no way he was watching this fight, bro.
Not at all. Daydream City.
Like, God, she's got a nice ass. Woo. Ding ding. Oh shit. Ramos.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I don't know what was going on, dude. Telly asks that woman judge since '92 Aku. I think that was C.J. Ross, wasn't it, or was it? I don't know. There's always somebody, you know. JD says if Ramos was an inch taller and an inch on the arms, that fight might be more realistic. Split decision. Yeah, man. I mean, probably, you know. But at the end of the day, one last thing I want to kind of touch on because we were kind of, you know, up. I don't know what the word is on social media about this. Like, I'm used to like approach, but that's in person. You know what I mean? Like, but like someone like mentioned like we can't legitimize, you know, these WBA regular belts, and it's not a real belt. And
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
look, I'll let Ashley speak for himself, but let me say this: I don't make the rules. I don't decide who's a world champion or not a world champion. I'm not an arbiter of who's a champion or not. If the boxing gods or whoever's in charge of boxing came to me and said, "What do you think we should do?" I would be like, you know what, 2, 3 champions at the most for division, and that's it. That's what I would say, right? But at the end of the day, I mean, Ugas is a world champion. Do I agree there's too many? Yes. Do I agree that this shouldn't be a super champion, a regular champion? Absolutely. But on paper, he's a world champion. But what do you have to say, Ash?
That's pretty much the nuts and bolts of it. According to the rules that we follow in boxing, that we read and understand in boxing, he is defined as a world champion, regardless if we label him a titleist or give him just a ranking or just call him just a contender. According to the WBA, he's ruled as a champion for that organization, and it will go down in history as a world title. And I'm sure, you know, we've been fighting this argument for years about the excess belts. That is a argument we've been fighting for the longest time. And the only thing we got as a result is more fucking belts. So the more we argue, the more fucking belts. And then at the same time, y'all the same people that be like, oh no, you got to have all 4 belts to be undisputed, when it was never like that in history. It used to be WBA, the IBF, and the WBC since the 80s. And before that, it was the WBA and the WBC. And you were undisputed with those two. So it's kind of oxymoron to be talking about, oh, he's not a champion. You know what I'm saying? But you keep adding more belts to become undisputed.
Dude, it's getting ridiculous, bro.
Pretty soon, you're going to need the IBO belt, because people are going to recognize that organization as one of the big organizations, and now you're going to need that belt too. So you gotta pick what side of the battle you want. To me, undisputed is still IBF, WBC, WBA, and that's just the way it's going to be, at least in my book, because the WBO belt has been there even through the time where the 3 belts made you undisputed. The WBO belt was there. Tommy Hearns had a WBO belt. You know what I'm saying? That's how it's older than that.
Yeah, so it wasn't that recognized. I know Ray Mercer had it for a while, right? That's the one he held, the WBO.
He had it.
De La Hoya in several divisions. But De La Hoya, Pacquiao, Top Rank in particular, helped, quote unquote, legitimize, and the media, the WBO belt. You know what I mean?
And then also when Bernard Hopkins won it, you know, when he fought De La Hoya, right? That's what further gave it its acclaim, because he became the first 4-belt undisputed world champion. So it became a thing after that, when it shouldn't have became a thing, because he was already undisputed. He was already the undisputed champion. He didn't need that belt.
I could accept the WBO actually, but now you have arguments like, if Teofimo or Lomachenko, the winner of that fight, are they really undisputed? Because Haney is the regular champion, and the winner, Garcia Campbell, are the interim champion. And like, what's with this never-ending world champions? Like, why is there an interim champion, a regular champion, and a franchise champion?
You know, I think, and this is just my own opinion, is because, you know, when you look at the throwback fighters, a lot of the great fighters of old didn't get a chance to fight for world titles that often. You know what I'm saying? They were fighting, and the world title shots was not coming around. You know, in this modern era, or in in the years leading to this modern era, it gave an opportunity for the fighters to actually realize their dream of becoming a world champion, or at least getting a title shot within their career, even if they don't win it. At least they would have fought for it once. You know, that's why from I always stick to the '80s, because that's when, in my opinion, it was I could deal with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the WBA gold and the WBC silver and it just spiraled out of fucking control, man. Now I don't know what the hell it is now. So
yeah, it definitely needs to be fixed. I just don't know how. Like, they're doing it in front of our faces now. Like,
man,
we literally can't do anything about it. Like, it's not watching is our only option. But like, do we want to stop watching boxing? You know what I mean?
right.
Like, it's like Povetkin White was for the Diamond Championship. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, why? Like, what does that even mean? Diamond Champion.
What does the silver champion mean? You know what I'm saying? What is the Huicho belt? What they call it? The Huicho belt?
Yeah.
It had the fucking snake on the fucking belt?
Yeah, I know, like the Mayan thing.
Yeah. What the fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? Can you defend that? Can you be ranked in order to fight for that motherfucker? Is there a mandatory for it? You know,
No,
the emerald belt. Isn't there an emerald belt too?
Emerald Bell, yeah. Like, you know what's funny about the franchise belt? At first, they came out and they said, "Oh, it's like a trophy. It's like a status.
Right.
It's not like a championship, right?" But now it's on the line. They're fighting.
That's the shit that pisses me off. Because before all that, it was just the champion emeritus. That's where it started. The champion emeritus. Right. And I think the first champion emeritus was Kostya, because he kept getting fucking injured.
Yeah.
So Gotti got a chance to fight for the world title. Turo Gotti got the chance to fight for the WBC because Kostya kept getting injured at this time in his career. And that's why he couldn't give Sharmba Mitchell that rematch. It took years for Sharmba Mitchell to get that rematch, which he ended up getting a shit beat out of him. You know what I'm saying? But from there, the WBC just went fucking crazy with all these side belts that they're making. You know, it is just really ridiculous, man. Quite honestly.
Belts is stormy, man. Oh man, and yes, Bruce, of course, sanctioning fees, of course, that's why they do it. Which brings me to this: has she not even like I forgot he said this. I'm glad I remember now. What do you think of Mauricio Suleiman coming out and saying, "I don't know what everybody's talking about, that we do it for sanctioning fees. We're a non-profit organization," he said.
Oh, that's funny.
Like, he's like insulted that they're saying that he's doing this for money. He's non-profit, bro. He's doing this out the kindness of his heart. You know what I mean?
Then how do your organization survive if you don't have no funding whatsoever?
Right.
So, I mean, if that's the case, the WBC will be located in your fucking garage. You know what I'm saying? But we know that's not the case. You know, there are fees, and those fees will be paid. Hell, we had his own nephew at one of these events that barbershop conversations, Fred.
Yeah.
He came to my city and threw an event at a barbershop near Pearland or Brazoria, I forget, somewhere over there. And the fucking Suleiman's nephew was there. And he basically was talking about how he was explaining why Canelo didn't have to fight Charlo. At that time, it was on the eve of Charlo's fight with Brandon Adams. You know what I'm saying? So, and he said it had to do with, when you're a star fighter, you command more respect because you accrue more dollars. So, goddamn your non-profit organization speech. We already know what it is. Good save, though.
Yeah, I had to show this because Nadatuaku's asking if I have a Trump banner in the back. Nah, bro, this is Buffalo Bills, right? That's how rumors start. Okay, these styles are Trump supporters. He's got a Trump flag in the back. And, you know what I mean? But just wanted to show that, you know what I mean?
I mean, they're all in Texas, though. Don't get it twisted.
Right. They're
They're
all over Texas.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, I'll say this, man. I don't know, like, what has to happen other than like some type of fighter union that fighters get together and like, look, we're not gonna keep paying the sanctioning fees like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we for a world title fight or for certain mandatories, okay, but you're not gonna make up all these belts. There's too many of them, right?
But you don't have to fight for those belts, you know.
Yeah.
You
And
don't
then,
have to fight for them.
yeah.
You know? So
These fighters have to stop saying, "Nah, dude,
yeah,
get
take
the fuck out of here with that." You know what I mean?
that shit out of here, man.
I get that they love belts and they want to put the belts in their little trophy cases, and you know, because they show they show them off like a motherfucker. Like they'll take
Right.
pictures and frames and
The fighters love the belts, man. They love them, you know.
yeah, like, but at some point, don't you love your bank account more? Like don't pay sanctioning fees, dude.
Right.
Like, I just don't. Buy yourself a belt. You know, like the two fighters, you two can buy yourself a belt and fight for it. You don't need the WBC to make up a belt for you. If you want a trophy, buy one. You know what I mean? If you're Manny Pacquiao and you're gonna fight, I don't know, whoever, like I wish, but Crawford, right? Like, and you two like want to make it for more than you want, like an extra trophy for it. You can just buy your own and just fight for it or something. I don't know. Like, I don't get it, man. But
what do you think about the remember they were talking about the PBC belt?
Yes.
Would it be nonsense to think of having that instead now?
Man, the only problem I have with a PBC belt is that only PBC fighters could fight for it, I guess. How would that work? Like, if like, how do you become the mandatory for a PBC belt?
That's a very good point. Yep.
Like,
somebody would have to be in charge of ranking fighters worldwide, and I guess they would have to fight on PBC in order to fight for the title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me, it says in the USA, nonprofits organizations have to report executive director salaries, but they're based out of Mexico. So Natural networks be paying sanction fees. How HBO Shad Dawson vacated his WBC belt, and man, most fighters are economic retards. It's Reggie Owens. I'm just reading it. You know what I mean?
So it's irresponsible with their money.
It's like when Mayweather paid 3% of his fight with Conor to the WBC for that money belt.
I don't think he did, though. I don't think he paid.
He did it? Okay. Well,
there's a cap. There's a cap now.
Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah, because they obviously complained about that shit. So Mayweather would have been I think the cap is like $300,000.
Right.
I have to look it up, but I think the cap on sanctioning fees is $300,000. Other than that, it stops. So if Mayweather makes $100 million, WBC is not getting 3% of that shit.
Right.
So
we had talked about this fight briefly last week, Ashley, but it looks like Lomachenko against Lopez is officially official, right? They actually signed the paperwork now.
Good deal.
So, hey, what are your thoughts on it finally being signed? And it's getting some attention. I mean, Teofimo was on First Take. That's actually a big deal.
Yeah.
So,
what are
your thoughts on that, man?
That's actually a good look, but I'm not surprised too, because Top Rank does have a contract with ESPN, so that gives more publicity to Teo and for the fight at hand, which should garner the attention because it's going to be explosive. It's a great fight, man. It really is. I read a comment on Boxing Scene what Teo said about Loma. He was like, it's time for the diva to go or some shit like that. And so he's excited about it. And I kind of agree with Tank. Brian Custer with Showtime was interviewing Tank on his podcast, The Last Stand. And I agree with Tank, man, in terms of Teo, man. If Teo goes to the ring in awe of the great Lomachenko, then it's gonna be a long night for him. But if he going in the ring like, man, fuck this dude, it's about me. I'm that motherfucker he got to deal with, you know? And it could be a fucking Teo Famo show, you know?
Right.
You can't be in awe of this guy. He got to go in there and do what he do. Don't worry about, you know, what Lomachenko is known for. He is a smaller guy. You, the older guy, you're the young phenom with all the power. Go in there and do your job. You know what I'm saying? It just, you know, for some fighters, the magnitude of the event is too much for them. You know, certain lights, man, it's too bright for them. They're afraid to be great. You know, so we'll just have to see is it in the cards for this young kid Teo for to grab the bull by the horn and make him submit to his will. You know what I'm saying? It remains to be seen if that's what's going to happen because he got the tools to get it done.
He said one thing on First Take that I agree with, and that was that I like, I should say. And he said, "I'm not these other guys. You know, I'm coming like to win. I'm not going to respect them in the ring. You know, and that's just the way you got to come in.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, if he imposes his will, he will be the hunter in that fight.
Yeah.
You know,
I think so.
You know, so you're big, you're younger, you're bigger, you're stronger. You should go in with the mentality of I should be the fucking favorite, right? This dude shouldn't be the favorite. I'm the favorite. You know what I mean? I'm talking about that mentality. You know, I'm not talking about the bookies in Vegas. You know, I'm seeing Reggie and Stormy talking about the sanctioning fees. I'm still thinking about that comment from Suleiman. And it's funny because whenever they have these meetings, actually, where they vote on new rules and stuff like that, like they treat themselves to a trip in Hawaii, and you know what I mean. But I'm expected to believe they're a non-profit organization.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, because non-profits have meetings in Hawaii. You know what I mean, like
right
for a whole week and stuff. You know, they chill in Hawaii for a week and just to have a vote. You know, like come on. You know, like shit's ridiculous. Of like 60 people, right? You know, and Chief Punk says no respect for Lomachenko. I like that mentality. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, Loma signed a contract with no shirt. Hey, you know what I mean? It is what it is. That's how he does it. You know, look, Theo's a responsible one, dude. Look at this. He's got the mask on. He's got clothes on. Look at Lomachenko. Doesn't understand we're in the middle of a pandemic. He's irresponsible. We got to knock this dude out, right? So that's the way I see it.
He can't let him off the hook in this fight, man. Because one thing I got to say about that little motherfucker, boy. Once he gets going, boy, that little motherfucker. I mean, he start throwing punches, and he keeps that target moving, and he keeps those angles, and he just makes it a very difficult outing for the guy he's in the ring with, especially when he start giving them angles. It's hard to time him. It's hard to catch up with him. But this young guy can. But he's got to press this guy out. He got to make it uncomfortable for Loma. Because if you allow him to get in the fight, it's going to be a long night. Regardless if he knocked the dude down or anything, knocked Teo down or anything, if he makes it where he can get in a comfort zone, you know what I'm saying? In this fight, it's going to be very, very bad. But at the end of the day, Teo got stones in his fucking hands, man. That is the ultimate equalizer. It's not just that. He got fucking skills too. So it's not like, we watching Wilder versus Fury where we're counting on the one punch power that never showed up in that rematch with Fury. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Teo has the ability to box with the guy. It just so happens that he got fucking stones in his hands. So it's just a dangerous fight, man. I think it's a way to win for both guys, man. I can't wait to see it.
I'll tell you, Ashley, that pic. I know they're making fun of Lomachenko, saying like Loma looks like a little boy doing his homework. He looks like a bulky little kid, though. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know if kids were that bulky, but a little too scruffy there with a beard. But I already know I'm reading too much into this, but you could tell like which one's like, this is just another fight, and which one's like, this is a big deal. You could just tell, Like one guy like put his mask on, he looked at the camera, he made sure, his posture was there for the picture. And the other guy's like, give me that fucking paperwork, man. Let me sign this shit.
Yeah.
So this ain't Loma's first rodeo, and that's an advantage he has going into this fight.
Yep.
But hey, man, sometimes hunger, man, takes you a long, long way in boxing, and
Yep.
determination and all that. And I think Theo's going to bring that in abundance. Okay. And Joe Lopez says, no way is he 5'7". Isn't he like 5'5", Loma?
Lomachenko?
Yeah.
That motherfucker like 4'11", man.
Because 92 Ku's saying he's 5'7". I don't know about that. 5'7". Like, come on now.
That's a little bitty motherfucker, man.
And I'm 6'2". Like, you know what I mean? If he's 5'7", I'm 6'2". Okay? Come on. No way. No way. If we're all going to give ourselves 4 inches like that, I'm 6'2". All right? Bucket. Yeah. What are we doing? But nah, man. Either way, it doesn't matter. I mean, they're going to fight. It's going to be good. More like 5'5", borderline 5'4". He's smaller than Mikey, says the Texan. Yeah, he looks small next to Campbell, who's 5'10", like, or 5'9", whatever Campbell is.
Campbell dwarfed him. Got his ass, but he dwarfed him.
Yeah, that's for sure. Good fight though. Now that wasn't all ashy. It's like I feel like ESPN had a talk with Top Rank. That's how I feel. You know what I mean?
What you mean about making this fight?
No, about this. You know what I mean? Like, yo, we need some better fights. You know what I mean? Like, okay, we gave you a pass. We know we have to get the engine running, but it's time for the race. And we got some better fights. This looks a lot better. This looks more before the pandemic.
Yeah.
It's not perfect, but it's kind of we're back to where we were. So look, man. They put the best fighters, the best fights. I don't know if that's true, but it's better fights. You know what I mean? October 3rd, Jose Cepeda against Ivan Baranchyk. Okay, junior welterweights, right? They're going to be fighting ESPN Plus. And Manuel Navarrete against Ruben Villa, who's an up and coming guy. I'm hearing good things about him. I just got to watch film on him. I haven't seen him. Have you seen Ruben Villa, Ashley?
No, I have not. But I've seen enough of Navarrete to know that it should be a typical, slug, great match. So we'll see.
Yeah. And of course, October 17th, Vasil Lomachenko, Teofimo Lopez. Man, we're going to be talking a lot about that fight, the lead up to it. Can't wait for it.
Not even pay-per-view.
ESPN, bro. Free TV. You call your friend and be like, hey, go to ESPN. You know what I mean? Just like that. October 23rd, better BF against Adam. Is that Danes? I don't know.
No.
But it's a unified light heavyweight world title fight, apparently. So October 31st, ESPN Plus. Inoue against Jason Maloney, man. I think this fight should have been on ESPN, but it's on the app. I'll take it, but hey, it's on the app. And none of them are like extra pay-per-view. It's just either the app or on ESPN. What do you think, Ash? Overall, what are your feelings on these fights?
I mean, I like the lineup. It's a step in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? The fans aren't allowed back into the venues yet, but the boxing is trying to come back slowly but surely. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not disappointed in this lineup. We needed somebody to take a step forward. Right. And I guess we're with the pay-per-views we got coming up this month. This month we got to pay with the Charlos, and Tank is happening. Tank's fight is happening in October. So in order to compete with these great fights we got on the horizon, you know what I'm saying? With Charlo and Banana, and Charlo and Derevyanchenko, and you got Santa Cruz versus Tank. You need to have fights of that ilk or something close, and I think this is Top Rank's response to that. You know what I'm saying? And if we have fights like that moving forward for the rest of the year, man, I think boxing will be in a good place as we move towards 2021.
Yeah, man. I like the cards, man. Like, it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
It's just one of those, like, I'm pretty sure they were looking over at the Showtime cards and the Fox, and they were like, oh, "Come on, Top Rank, you got to give us some." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to give us something here, and I think this is good, man. First of all, dude, that Loma Teofimo Lopez fight, I don't think it's hitting people how big that is.
Yeah.
For it to be on ESPN, they're going to be talking about that fight on Monday Night Football. Okay,
Right.
like if they're smart, they'll interview these guys at halftime the Monday before the fight, Monday Night Football.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's good, man. Some of these guys you got to watch some film on. I got to be honest, but
Peter Baranchek, that should be a good one.
Yes.
Yeah, that should be a good one.
That's a good one right there. Lopez Lomachenko sticks out. If Villa is as good as some people are telling me, I don't know yet. I always got to watch it for myself.
Right.
If he's as good as some people are telling me, that should be a barn burner. But
glad to see Navarrete at featherweight now.
But I'm just disappointed that what's his name? Oh my God, I forgot his name. He was supposed to fight Navarrete.
The dude's brother.
Magdaleno.
Yeah, Magdaleno.
His name escaped me, but Jesse Magdaleno Navarrete, imagine October 9th.
That would have been good.
You know what I mean? So, and that's great, man. I love these cards, and then the zone, a lot of times these Eddie Hearn cards are during the day, so sometimes it works out. You know what I mean? You get, fights in the afternoon and night, and then of course, look, man, we have some big, events in November as well from PBC, so things are getting better. You know what I mean? For sure. So, but Lopez Lomachenko is my favorite out of that. For sure. I think Jason Maloney's going to get slept by Inoue, though. That's what I think, but we'll see. Yeah. I don't want to get excited. Not until they're in the ring, says Afro-Rican, because of coronavirus. Well, that's true. Right? All right. Now, Ashy, let's touch on this last topic here. And, hey, first of all, shout out to... I don't even know I'm going to name all the channels because there weren't a lot of spots, but like I saw on 78 channel, Fanon's channel.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody, but I think there were on Black Fight Fan channel too, Trill Talk. But Gary Russell's brother and Devin Haney's dad were like talking about the fight. You know what I mean? Now, I want to ask you this. Devin Haney's dad was talking about the stipulation, right? Saying, if my son beats Gary Russell, he has to sign with our promotional company for a couple fights. And but that's just if he loses, unless you don't have confidence, in your brother. I mean, what's the big deal and all this? But I think that just overcomplicated what should just be like a deal for a fight. You know what I mean? Like if you want to fight. They call them Batman Briscoes, okay? Like if you want to fight, just fight, right? But it looks like Devin Haney earlier today came out and tweeted out, you know what? The only stipulation is the rematch clause, $1.5 million. You got it, Gary. So Gary's been calling out, as we know, Crawford, but now it's still a jump in divisions, but it's not 4-weight classes; it's 2.
Yeah.
Right? What do you think about the possibility of Gary Russell Jr. and Devin Haney?
I mean, that's a good fight. You know what I'm saying? And the other boxing channel was Barbershop Conversation. First and foremost, before I answer that question, the LDBC gets a whole lot of hate. I've never seen any other network of boxing fans have a platform where fights are negotiated. So for all you LDBC haters, take that one to the gut. You know what I'm saying? But anyway,
I like that, Ash. Sorry.
Yeah, but anyway, man. Shout out to the LDBC. But anyway, I think it's a good fight. Gary Russell is a seasoned professional, world champion, and this is a more doable fight. You know what I'm saying? It's a more reasonable jump many fighters have tried to fight a guy 2 weights ahead of them, and he would be another one trying to risk it. Daring. In boxing we call it daring to be great, and that's what he's doing. He's daring to be great. He's taking a leap, trying to fight a lightweight champion and him coming from featherweight. He believes in himself and his skills, and the champion is willing to give him a shot. Papa Haney was trying to get some options on Gary Russell, a la Don King. You know what I'm saying? Don King was famous for putting options on guys. If they wanted to fight as fighters, they had to sign a couple of fights with DKP. So, with them having their own promotional company, it's them trying to take a step in that direction to have fighters under their banner. I don't hate them for that. You know what I'm saying? I don't knock them for that. They just business, man. Right. They just want to negotiate. And at the end of the day, both fighters agree on the numbers. So the rest is just a technicality, man, on the size of the ring, the type of gloves you want, and any other, the rematch clause. Everything else is just, technicalities that they can work out literally in minutes. So, I think it's a good look. If they can secure the money to give to Gary Russell, he's on board, and he'll do the rematch clause. I mean, you're so worried about a rematch, that means you're not confident that Devin is going to win the fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Gary Russell, like, yeah, I'll give you the rematch. He already saying it, like, I'm going to beat your ass. So yeah, I'll fight you again after I beat your ass. So I mean, if he really, if they really want to do it, I'm not going to keep downing a guy for daring to be great. You know what I'm saying? But 2 weights is a whole lot better than jumping 4. And I think, fuck it, go for it. You want that smoke? Both guys want it. These guys are professional prize fighters. This is what they do for a living. They both want to do it. Fuck it, get in there and make it happen. And make it count, man. Make it count for the boxing fans.
Yeah, and you're right. On the note of what was happening, first of all, people got to stop pretending like they weren't watching. Okay, like you guys were there watching. Okay, it's say the name of the channels that you saw this go down in. Okay, stop being ridiculous. I'm seeing articles actually like, Devin Haney and Russell are in talks, and like where you're getting this information from. Just
right.
You know what I mean? Come on, stop being ridiculous. All right, seriously, you don't have to like somebody to give them credit for what they're doing.
That's the fact.
Like, I don't like Dan Rafael, but if he reports a story and I talk about it, I tell you guys, hey, Dan Rafael reporting.
That's right.
Phone, right? Just give credit where it's due. That's all.
They don't do that. They've been like transcribing 78's interviews. Mm-hmm. Like he'll do the interview and then they'll go and transcribe it and then put it out on their website and don't cite 78. So they've been hating on LDBC for so freaking long, but been getting a whole lot of their material from them. And it's really a shame, dog. You know what I'm saying? Right. Just such fucking haters, man.
Like I saw Joe Habib he does interviews with Bob Arum, right?
Mm-hmm.
No one's asked him these questions. Like the media's always crying about it. There's nothing to ask, pandemic, and I don't know what to ask. And Habib will ask questions, right, to Bob Arum that no one else has asked.
Right.
He shares it out there. You know what these motherfuckers do? They call Bob Arum and ask him the same question. You know what I mean? So that way they can get the quote themselves. It's ridiculous, dude.
Yeah, that's some.
You know what I mean?
That shit. So I don't like none of the man. I do not fool with these dudes. You know what I'm saying? Right. Now I ain't gonna lie. Some of the no-name guys, even the no-name guys that's been around for years, they got plenty of guys that's been around. You hear, these guys when you go to the events, they know you. You know what I'm saying? Especially us who put our face out there, dude. They watch our shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a guy from Fight News. Hey, Ashley Knuckles. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Before, and I don't know these motherfuckers from anybody. I remember when I covered Pacquiao, Joshua Clottey in Dallas. That was another event where you see everybody and people come up to you and shit like that. It's a trip, Damn, I forget my fucking trade. My thoughts I was trying to come up with.
Yeah.
But anyway, man, it don't hurt to credit the people who you get the information from, man. What the fuck does it hurt? You know, you're so quick to say, or sources say, well, this is a source right in front of your face, and you won't give them their credit. That's why I say when they say sources, that's the key word for I'm about to make some shit up right now. You know, the shit I'm about to tell you is going to be made up from my own idiot ass fucking brain. So, yeah, it's just fucking hate, man.
Yeah, my sources told me, like, you know what gets to me is like, my sources told me that, you know, the fight is closer to be made. Like, we're a little closer to making the fight happen. Like, what does that even mean, dude?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything. Either the fight's made or it's not, right? One or the other. And shout out to the liquor spot, Miss Boxing, right? Should have had Miss Boxing one of these punches chance one of these days. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bring them on, man. Bring on anybody who you want.
Yeah. If you want Loma, she beat the guy Loma ducked. Winks is 92 cool. Damn. You know what I mean? Hey, if Gary beats Haney and Loma beats, you know, Teofimo, that sets up a perfect rematch. That's a perfect rematch. You know what I mean? But technically, he has to give Haney the rematch, though. You know what I mean? But
Russell,
yeah,
that'd be a great accomplishment if he knocks off that young kid, man.
Wow.
I'd give him so much fucking credit for doing that.
And he would earn it, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I always say? As she's like, I don't think he can do it, but he's earned the right to prove me wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, look at that. Yeah. I got the 1.5, Gary Rosa Jr. No stipulations, rematch clause only. I'm ready to beat your ass. Man.
Some heavy words, man.
Yeah.
Some heavy words.
And then he put Eddie Hearn's name there. I don't know why, but he put Eddie Hearn right there. You know what I mean? I guess to kind of show, like, I'm telling you in front of my promoter. You know what I mean? Like, maybe that's what it is, but DAZN's tagged on it, so
they obviously are interested in it.
What is that?
I said they're obviously interested in it. I mean, that's what I heard through the grapevine, you know?
Right. I mean, look at this.
You know, they got the money.
Contract saying, we waiting. He said he sent the contract.
Called him Mr. Cap.
Right.
Wow. He's saying Gary Russell is all cap.
Ooh-wee.
That's some heavy words, man.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
We'll see.
Hey, man, look. I'll say this, you know. I still would prefer Gary Russell to go to 130, you know what I mean? Like I just believe in the process, you know. Like, there's been very few guys that jump so many weight classes and were successful. You know what I mean? Like, the guys that went through the process were the ones that had most success. Like, Leonard went from welterweight and he moved up in weight. You know what I mean? Hearns did the same. And Duran started at lightweight. He moved up to welterweight and middleweight. Like De La Hoya, he started 130, 135, 140, 147, 154. Yeah. Trinidad, 147, 154, 160. Like, there's a process. Roy Jones, 160, 168, 175. Eventually, he gave it a shot at heavyweight.
Yeah.
Right? He didn't go from middleweight to heavyweight. You know what I mean? Now, people will bring up Henry Armstrong. I mean, dude, that's a hell of a name to bring up, though. Like, you know, like, Henry Armstrong just ain't no dude. Like, that's probably the best ever, top 3, you know? So
Mosley made that jump too, the 2 weights, but he didn't go up there and fight a live dude. He went up 2 weights and fought Wilfredo Rivera.
Yeah.
Well, he fought several guys before he fought De La Hoya. He didn't just jump up and fight De La Hoya from 35 to 47, but he did jump 2 weights. So,
absolutely. Yeah, man. But a lot of you guys got to stop talking about this fight. Like, you don't know where you heard about it. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Like you didn't hear about it on 78's channel or something. Like, you're just pretending like you caught it on FightViews.com. Like, come on.
Give the LGBT their fucking card, man. These boys, they put in work for all the hate they get. the fighters and the managers of those fighters feel comfortable calling into their show and putting live smoke out there, live entertainment for the boxing fans, and y'all ain't gonna do nothing but hate. It's typical, man. At this juncture, just typical.
The Diesel says, I feel like Haney's jab is going to be the key, but Gary's experience is going to be his key. Man. Hey, Diesel, that's a good comment right there. You know what I mean? But I always go back to this. I do kind of wish Gary would have gone to 130, then 140, before he fights, Devin Haney. But it's what he wants to do. I'll tell you this, he's more alive in this fight than Gary Russell, than against Crawford at 147.
Yeah.
He's a more alive dog in this fight.
I'm in total agreement with you, I didn't think he had a fucking chance in hell fighting Bud at welterweight, And not even it could have been somebody else at welterweight, it didn't have to be Bud. You're not jumping 4 weight classes and think you dominating shit. I don't give a damn what you did as an amateur, man.
Yeah.
It's just the reason why it has not been done is because it's undoable. You know what I'm talking about? It ain't fucking happening, dude. But if you insist on trying, maybe this fight with Devin will show you why you shouldn't have went 4 weight classes to fight Bud. Even if he wins, I think he's still gonna go through something in order to get that W.
Yeah.
He's fighting a substantially bigger guy who is actually a kid coming into manhood, but he's still bigger. And he's fast and skilled and he determined.
Now, compared to Russell, he's not as experienced.
Right?
So, not trying to hype up the fight, but I'm saying, we might as well, I guess. But I'll tell you what, I think this is the best opponent Haney's fought. Like, it's going to be the toughest fight, I think.
It definitely could be. That last guy Haney fought, that tall, lanky lightweight, I forget where he was from. He was a Latino. I forget which Latino country he came from. But that motherfucker came to fight. You know what I'm saying? He was a bit awkward, too.
Right.
I've never seen or heard that motherfucker and all, but all you can do is judge them based on their outings, what they put forth in the ring, what they put on tape.
Right.
That motherfucker came to fight. You know what I'm saying?
It was Alfredo Santiago from the Dominican Republic.
That motherfucker came to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Haney had to make adjustments in that fight.
Right.
So he didn't just run through that motherfucker. It took time for him to decode him. So I like Haney, man. I think that young kid was special.
Yeah. Because even if it's wide on the cards, if a guy's giving you a tough fight, it's just like a Quindo with Herring. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's giving you a tough fight. He's making you work for that 10, that round. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, but hey, we will see, man.
Scored at 120 to 107 across the board, though. God damn.
Yeah.
It don't make it seem like he had any trouble in that fight. Look, the scores make it seem like he dominated every fucking second, but that wasn't the case. But he did win the fight, I'm away from him. So
Jake Cooley's saying Gary beats everyone in Bud's resume. I don't know.
Let me see. Man, who knows, man? I mean, shit, it's hard to say a featherweight.
Yeah.
Anybody that's not a featherweight,
I don't agree with that
I gotta see him in there against these guys,
Yeah, I gotta see how he looks here, but he's just so small. Like, he's got short arms.
Man. Right.
I don't know.
I know some people say that. You know what I'm saying? I just don't agree with that statement. He's not the only one that said that. That Gary Russell beats anybody on Bud's resume.
You could argue he's more skilled, maybe, than anybody in Russell, and I think that's what they mean. But guy, like 126 to 147 is a big jump,
right?
Like, how many guys?
Too, but he's just a smaller guy. So just because he's a better fighter than those guys and a bigger name than those guys, don't mean he beats those guys. You know what I'm saying?
Featherweights in history were successful at welterweight.
Not many.
Handful.
Handful.
And maybe some of you guys feel like, hey, well, Gary's that dude, but I don't know, man. I just sometimes you have to understand that size matters, and we have divisions for a reason.
For a reason. Weight
Yeah.
matters.
You know,
Weight matters. That's the whole reason why pound for pound was ever created, is because weight matters. They had to figure out a way to make the shit even on some type of scale to figure out who's the best fighter on the planet. Because if you just look at it by division, the best fighter in the world is the world heavyweight champion. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't nobody fucking with him except heavyweights. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, did Gary really say he beat B-Hop? I don't think he said that night at Tuaku. He didn't say that. I don't know. Like, I don't know, man. It's like, I know I'm hearing that apparently he was talking, like Diesel, this is what Diesel said. Gary said today on Blue Blood's channel that he has sparred heavyweights. Like, do you guys really think these heavyweights are going full-fledged with Gary?
No, he's probably sparred small heavyweights. You know what I'm saying? Guys who probably campaign at like middleweight, but because they don't have a fight scheduled, they like up 40 pounds over their fight weight. I could believe that. Getting in the ring with a guy 200 pounds.
Yeah.
Because that means Gary Russell, he probably not at his weight. He's not at 126 when he's sparring.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I said him and Bud, he would probably do better if he was sparring Bud. But once you bring that scale and that training camp into the picture, everything changes. Everything fucking changes, man.
Yeah, it does.
You know, so he probably has sparred heavyweights before. It's not.
Yeah,
that's not unheard of. I doubt it, but.
And if he did, I really doubt they weren't fighting in there.
Yeah, you know they weren't going hard on him, you know.
Yeah, like come on.
Or maybe he went in there and beat the shit out of some heavyweights. Who fucking knows? You know, I never been to the gyms in DC. You know what I'm saying? So I just really doubt it, though. You know.
Yo, man, like Gary's like, dude. If you hear him talk, like he talks like he could beat the shit out of Crawford. Like he's confident. You know what I mean, like put him in the ring with me. I'll beat his ass right now. But I don't know.
He'd look right in the camera and say, "You know what, Slim? You a real bitch."
Actually, what do you say to people saying, "Hey, man, like, I don't care if it's a mismatch. Like, we should let Bud beat his ass." You know what I mean? Like, what do you say?
If that's what you want, you know, if his handlers and his managers put his ass in there, I'll watch it.
Shit.
No, I'll watch him go ahead and get his fucking ass whooped. I don't want that for him. You know what I'm saying? As a fan, I don't want that for him. But if he want it,
let's get it. Yeah.
What can I do? I can't stop that man from trying to feed his family.
Nah, man, we can't. At the end of the day, you know, hey, make sure you guys throw a jab in my like button, by the way. Make sure it turns blue. All right. Want to thank everyone that came in, man. Ashy, give me some, you have any final thoughts, man, before we wrap this one up?
Oh, man. Just keep watching the fights, man. Hopefully, as we go into deeper into September and October, we got some good fights on the horizon, man. Boxing is looking good. Hopefully we can get some normalcy back. You know what I'm saying? This little pandemic hit us real hard. And, a lot of us are just now coming out of it, recovering. So thanks to boxing, man, it makes it a whole lot more easy to deal with, I think. So.
Well, before we go, I think we got some breaking news here.
Uh-oh.
This was just about 23 minutes ago. Again, this is not me and Ash here. Before people come out, you guys get false. These are the reports. Mike Coppinger says, breaking. And also, by the way, Dan Rafael reported this as well.
Uh-oh.
Let me go with Dan. Dan's a little more reliable than Coppinger, but Canelo files a lawsuit in federal court in the District of Central California against the DAZN, Golden Boy Promotions, De La Hoya, claiming breach of contract amongst numerous other charges. Story to come on boxing scene. And this Athletic has a quote: "I'm not scared of any opponent in the ring, and I'm not going to let failures of my broadcaster or promoter keep me out of the ring." So apparently Canelo Alvarez is suing the DAZN and Golden Boy Promotions, Ash, according to these reports.
Yeah, he's a fighter that's pissed off with the people who handles the paperwork, you know what I'm saying, behind the scenes. And maybe he's tired of them lying to him. So Canelo is a real, to me, he's a real fighter, man. I know he gets a lot of fucking hate and shit like that. To me, he's the best fighter in the world right now. I gotta give it up. That motherfucker Red can squab, dog. He gets it in. So maybe this is a bad look. If any of Don King's fighters try to sue him, he put them motherfuckers on the shelf. And motherfucker, you not fighting until all this shit clears out. And all you got to do is keep delaying the fucking proceeding. And nothing, before you know it, you've been out of ring for two plus years trying to fight a fucking court battle. So hopefully they can work that shit out and Red can get back in the ring ASAP, man. Not surprising, man, because I know him and De La Hoya got a rocky relationship, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder what the breach is exactly. Is it the fact that he wanted to fight Advil Urine and they didn't let him fight him?
Fight who? Who?
Well, Advil Urine, whatever the dude's name is. Like,
now I know who you're talking about. Okay. Did he really want to fight that guy?
Well, he was going to fight him. They named him. Word on the street, right, is that Canelo requested to be the mandatory after this trip in Benavidez, right, for not making the weight.
Right.
But there's also, I don't know how true this is, there's also word that Canelo requested to fight their number one, which was this Urine guy. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
So DAZN came out and said, "No, we're not going to pay for that. We don't want to put that on."
Yeah, I remember.
I support DAZN in that. But then DAZN, I'm also hearing, though, on the flip side, that DAZN is saying no to like guys like, those British dudes.
Callum
Saunders, Callum Smith.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They tried to make a fight with Caleb Plan, and he said there was not enough time.
Right.
I just think Canelo's mind is like, yo, if
I gotta fight somebody, yeah.
And you signed to pay me a certain amount for fight. So he's gone to court. He's going to sue them. That's insane. This is literally just came out like during the show, dude. I cannot. Yeah, Canelo suing both. That's what's surprising me.
Golden Boy in the zone. Maybe he feels Golden Boy is making deals without including them in this shit. You know what I'm saying? Limiting them.
Well, he's already been beefing. You know what I mean?
With Oscar. I know he don't like Oscar at all.
Right.
So.
Dude, this is weird, dude. This is one of the weirdest. Like this came out of nowhere. Like I was not expecting this, but I think Canelo's mind is, dude, I should be making money right now.
Right.
I don't know what's gonna happen. Like this is a hell of a step, Ashley. A lawsuit is like this tells me that there was other things before it got to this point.
Right. It's culminated, and now this is the only way we're gonna resolve our issues that we have amongst each other.
Yeah. Yeah, because the Andy Ruiz rematch with Anthony Joshua, if you remember, they went months and months and months before they even there was even any indication of it going to court.
Right.
So I think Canelo's kind of like, yo, man, I'm done with this. Good. Now Canelo could go to PBC, says G Funky. Maybe we'll see a Canelo PBC pay-per-view by the end of the year.
Bro, if he go to PBC, the game has made a major shift.
Yeah.
It will be a major shift in the sport of boxing if Canelo joins PBC.
The Diesel says they will definitely put his career in the shelf. You think they'll put his career in the shelf?
If he goes to PBC?
No, like just the zone. Like they'll just won't.
Oh
Like,
yeah, by suing those guys, yeah. I mean they could sit on them. Like I said, back in the game when fighters fought Don King, when you went to file those papers, all right, fine, we gonna go to court. You get to sue me, but your ass ain't fighting until we resolve this shit because you still signed to my fucking company. So you gonna sit out until this shit is over with.
wow.
I don't know if they'll pull some shit like that or not. You know what I'm saying? He is their biggest moneymaker. So I think the biggest thing they should do is hear the fucking man out, man. Hear what the fuck he wants.
Well, he's saying he'll fight anybody, but it's not his fault that the zone has been failing. Like,
not giving these guys what they want, in terms of a purse.
Right.
Like Canelo knows what he's making. I guess he's saying the zone and Golden Boy need to do what they got to do to get him quality opponents in the ring, and they're saying they're putting a number out there. The guys are just not trying to, that's not enticing. I guess that's what he's saying. They're not doing a good job of negotiating to get him the fighters that he wants to face.
Right. I don't understand how it got to this point, actually. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I think Canelo's just a real fighter, man. I think he just, outside of the star power and shit like that, he wants to fight the best they got out there.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Well, to a degree, but he's not exactly saying no, like to a Rocky Fielding or like or like a
right.
Admiral Urine. You know what I mean? Like,
you
I think to him, it's just business as usual. Like, I should get my little tune-ups in between the big fights, and
but I think he's like, I'm tired of fighting these motherfuckers.
Right.
I know he hears the rumblings. You know what I'm saying? Canelo has a lot of fucking haters, and I know he hears it. But he's like, I'll fight any of these motherfuckers, man.
Fight anybody.
I'll fight. You know what? I believe most fighters will fight anybody. I've been around fighters for years. I haven't been around them in years. Talking about right now and today, no.
Right.
But I've been around them for years, and I know how they are. I know how they think and how they talk. And I say it all the time. The sorriest fighter in the gym think he got some fucking hands. That motherfucker think he got something. You know what I'm telling you? I'm telling you, they want to fight. Yeah. They want to fight, dude. The sorriest motherfucker in the gym think he got something.
Yo. Yeah, I mean, you're right about that. And but I just, I know the zone wanted that Triple G fight. It could it be that, actually?
It definitely could be, because
I don't want to fight Triple G. Like, stop insisting. Like
they've been wanting that third fight for the longest, and Canelo, like, look, I've been there. I read that fucking book. You know what I'm saying? And the second fight, he beat his fucking ass. I don't know what else you need to see. You know what I'm saying? You have to literally have been wearing blind shades in a dark room.
He challenged his Mexicanness in that fight.
Right.
After the first fight, say, well, you didn't fight Mexican style.
Yeah.
Right? We got dudes out here that think Mexican style means stand and trade, or fight platform. Like, but so he was like, okay, I know what you mean by that. So let's do it then. You know what I mean? Let's stand and trade then. But then he started to box, actually.
Because he was getting that work put on his fucking ass. That's why.
Right.
I mean, I give Triple G credit. He tough. You know what I'm saying? He got a good chin. He's just a tough, rugged, and strong fighter. He is. But he felt them fucking punches. That's why he was like, oh, let me get behind this jab. You know what I'm saying? And the motherfucker was breathing heavily because those body shots were killing his ass.
Right.
He's not a machine to all you Triple G fans. You know what I'm saying? Triple G is a man. He feels pain like all of us. That
You
shit
know,
got him, bro.
not only do I feel he lost in the 10-point must system,
Yeah.
like he's the one that drew the line in the sand. He's the one that said, "Fight me like we're not going to take a step back."
Right.
He's the one that challenged Canelo to fight that way. And when he did, motherfucker was on his back foot. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, like he forgot that he was challenging a dude a Mexican style. All of a sudden, he completely forgot about that.
Yeah. I like the way Black Fight Fan broke that shit down when he was like, man, Canelo is a great fighter and he is a Mexican fighter. So on the night of the fight, whatever style Canelo brings to the ring, that's Mexican style. That shit had me rolling. That's Mexican style, whatever style he bring the fight night on fight night, that's Mexican style. Shit had my ass rolling, boy.
It's like this, Ashley. Okay, if you kind of look at it, Vicente Saldivar, Pipino Cuevas, Julio Cesar Chavez, Eric Morales. Okay, I think I said Vicente Saldivar. Lupe Pintor. All those motherfuckers I just named fight nothing alike. They fight nothing alike. They have a different style.
Right.
So I have no idea what people are talking about. And then a guy like Ruben Olivares and just they're different in that sense. You know what I mean? So yeah, so I never understood that, but what it was,
man, they have to be talking about I don't know how you watch Telefuturo.
Once in a while, yeah. I mean, I'm familiar with the channel, but I don't sit down and watch it.
Well, for a long time, the fights that was on Telefuturo had Mexican fighters, and they would bang out.
Yeah.
You can always count on them banging out. So I guess that's what made them coin it Mexican style. Even though the great Mexican fighters, a lot of them didn't just bang out; they could fucking box. You know what I'm saying? They had more facets to their game than just inside game. You know what I'm saying? So,
yes. Naitoku says Triple G is half man, half Terminator. Well, only the half man showed up in that second fight because I didn't see a Terminator at all. No. I don't know where Terminator went, but that motherfucker was gone, bro.
No, that was John.
Red he got was from the punches Canelo was landing, right?
Yeah, but that was John Connor. That wasn't no fucking Terminator.
Hey, could this be the end of the zone, Ashley, right here?
Man, them motherfuckers got deep pockets. The only time it's going to be the end of the zone is when the zone stop wanting to spin that cake. Until they run out of money, there is no end of the zone.
Yeah. When Sugar Daddy decides he no longer wants to give this whole the money, it's a wrap. Yeah. But that's what I mean. Like at this point, do you think these guys are like, you know what? Fuck this shit. We could go invest our money somewhere else on something else.
No. You never know, man. I mean, they could easily do that. Who gonna tell a billionaire what to do? But if they really want their platform to grow and they want to be major players in boxing, they're gonna find a solution to this problem. This is just the sport of boxing, the business of boxing. Shit happens all the time. Lawsuits. Lawsuits are part of the sport. So you find a way to find a solution, and the show must go on like it's fucking Broadway. You know what I'm saying? You got to find a way to keep the fucking product out there.
You got to find a way to get the product out there, and I don't know how all this is supposed to pan out for the zone. Like even billionaires have their limits in Naitoku. Yes, look. They're billionaires for a reason. They're not billionaires because they give money away, right? Like people always joke about Bill Gates' hair. Like that dude don't spend money on a good barber because you don't want to waste too much money. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, these guys aren't in it. They have the money, but they don't just want to spend it,
Right.
And that's kind of the all the issues the zone has, bro. I blame this on Eddie Hearn, dude. And yeah, because you don't come out and tell people you have a $1 billion budget. Why would you say that?
I don't know.
What are these managers going to tell these fighters? Hey, negotiate for more.
They got the money. Yep.
Hey, I want to fight Canelo. We're going to offer you $4 million. Hell no. You have a $1 billion budget. Give me more. This is a fight with Canelo. I ain't going to take less.
There it is.
Canelo fight? Hell nah.
Well, Eddie Hearn is not. He's I don't know. Does Golden Boy have to deal with Eddie Hearn when Canelo fights, or do they deal directly with DAZN?
Golden Boy?
Yeah.
I mean, no. Golden Boy doesn't deal with Eddie Hearn. However, a lot of these guys are Eddie Hearn fighters, though.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. Callum, and you know what I mean. So it's just one of those things.
Fights are doable, man. They're all on the same platform. You're right. Those fights are doable, man.
They're very doable. Well,
maybe Canelo got a point then.
It's maybe he feels like there's a lot of shit going on. I don't want to deal with a lot of this stuff. Fuck this bullshit. I'm out of here. I think that's how he feels. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I just this is surprising. This caught me off guard, this news. I didn't expect Canelo to sue, bro. I thought they were going to announce a fight soon.
No, I didn't either. But I knew he'd been having trouble with the brass at Golden Boy. I just thought it would always work itself out because of the business side of it. When you're talking figures, numbers and figures, man, it has a way of making you, overlook the bullshit that come along with it, the politics. But I guess this cup runneth over, bro.
Yeah. Joe Lopez 4 down says, I'm tired of Canelo. Like, man, a lot of people are tired of Canelo, dude. I hear you, Joe Lopez, but I mean, we got to deal with it, I guess, Eddie works hard, dude. Went to every event in Oklahoma while Oscar I don't know what that is, utensils or something. I don't know. But with that said, I know we were going to end it and then this came up, Ashy, but hey, man, the news is the news. That's all we got for you guys. Reported by Dan Rafael and Coppinger. But Ashy, for real now, give us some final thoughts.
Man, y'all, like I said, y'all have a great. Hope the rest of your week is great, man, and stay safe. Some social distancing, wear a mask until this shit blows over. Until next week.
Absolutely, man. Hey, this is D-Style Boxing. And for Ashy Knuckles, keep it boxing.
Keep it boxing.
Peace.